I guess it's working. And there it goes. Cool. Alright, so once again, we don't have a demo. We only have a demo today, no PowerPoint lectures, so we'll get started, okay? So I want you guys to go ahead and open up Notepad++. Instead of hand coding all of our HTML stuff, I have given you a pre-document of HTML. So here it is. It's under week 7 on Wednesday, and we're going to copy and we're going to paste this all into our Notepad++ form or file. We're going to go to save file. We're going to go to save as. We're going to click on the desktop. We're going to go in here and we're going to I don't know, let's name this. What are we doing today? We are doing, we'll just name this as 3-7-2018. Don't know what we're gonna name it yet. Let's go ahead and let's save this under HTML. Let's click save. Everything should change color just like this, right? So I believe that everyone knows that, you know, you start out with your doc type, you have your HTML, you've got your head, you close out your head. Within your head, you have your title. You can also have your link to your CSS page. You can also have all your meta tags, right? And then you open up your body. So there goes your body. You close out your body and you close out your HTML. Everyone's good with that, right? This is the bone, the structure of how to create an HTML file. Cool. So with that saved, we're gonna open up a new file. We're gonna say this is our CSS file. So let's put in a comment. This, if I can spell, this is my CSS page. File. Page. File. Let's go ahead and go file. I wanted to save this, but let's see. I have it saved as boo.css, so we're gonna change that. File, save as. We're gonna go to desktop. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna go to CSS, and you could call this whatever you want. I'm gonna call this Sunstar for today. Sunstar CSS. You can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna save it. Now it's sunstar.css. Because this CSS is going to be attached to our HTML, I'm gonna go back to our HTML here, right? Everything in this link should still say the same, except for this word. So this is gonna be sunstar CSS.css. If you called yours, I don't know, Jamie.css, it's gonna be Jamie.css for you guys, right? Make sense? Cool. Oh yeah, the other thing is that if I'm recording, I actually have to sit down up here. It's really hard because I'm really antsy right now. I'll try my best, okay? Alright, so let's see. We're gonna go in here and we're going to save all by clicking this multiple save button, right? We're gonna go to run, we're gonna go to Chrome, and that's what our HTML looks like. Everyone's got this? Yes? We should be good with this. Unless if you want to do like type equals CSS dash text, right? Yeah, you can do that too. Oh, CSS. Save. Refresh. It does nothing to it because it's right. Cool? Everyone's following along? Yes? Okay. Let's divide our screen up. Alright, so the first thing that we do, I'm going to go into my CSS, and I am going to do body, cool Jay Leno faces. From our body, we're going to do a background. Okay, and we are going to give it the color of 555. Save, refresh. That should have worked. How come mine didn't work? Save all. Hey, mine did not work. Huh? Okay, so yours turned gray, mine did not work. We have issues. Sun star CSS dot CSS. Save all. Refresh. Okay. Check out that text thing that we had, the type thing that we have for now. So we're gonna go back. It's gonna be 555, right? 555 is a color of what again? Gray? Yep. Let's put in our little comment here. This is a gray color. No, that's too much wording. Gray. There we go. Alright, so if yours works, right, everyone's caught on? There we go. Cool. Choose whatever color you want. Mine is just gray. Good? Okay. Alright, so the next thing that we want, in here, because I have all this laid out for you, right, and we are just doing our CSS function to this, we need to understand that all of our divs are already here, right? All of our divs IDs are already here. All of our divs are already here. They're all called already, okay? Does that make sense? Cool. Everyone understands that, right? So when we're coding our CSS, we're going to be calling IDs instead of classes because all of these are all IDs. Got it? Cool. All right, so let's go to our CSS. And let's do pound head. Of course, we're doing pound head because over here, we want to do something with this head, okay? So let's go in here. Let's give it a height. And let's give it a height of 60 pixels. Let us also give a font size. And let's do 1.25 EM. In addition to that, let's do a border. And let's do a border bottom. And this is going to be a 1 pixel. It's going to be solid. And it's going to be, let's put in that color. Let us save. Let us refresh. Uh-oh, border is not spelled correctly. There we go. And with this, I can definitely add just border bottom, right? It'll just give me a line at the bottom. It's almost like a horizontal line, if you guys remember that. But in this case, it's a border. Alright, not only that, but let's say that I want to do a text align. And we're going to do text align center. That's going to bring everything from the left side within this container into the middle. There we go. And lastly, let's give it a background color. So let's just do background. And let's give it the color of white. Right, full scale equals white. Good? So once again, this is white. And I'm going to also give myself a padding. And my padding is going to be 0.025 EM. So just refresh. I've got a little padding between my border and whatever's inside my border. So that's good. Alright, so everyone understands that because this is where my div ID is at, it's actually doing the border for all of my links. Yes? Cool. That's, yes?
For the links, if you wanted to space them out, how would you do that?
We learned it in class the other day where you can put a, where you can do a display block, and then from there you can space them out with a padding for each block. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna do pound sign. We're gonna do head. We're gonna have a space. We're gonna do link. JLN of faces. From here, I'm gonna want a color. And I am going to do 9900FF. And I'm gonna have a text decoration of none. In theory, what does this do? Okay, so I'm gonna save this. I'm going to refresh. There you guys go. I should really tell you guys what these colors are, right? Light purple. But then again, I'm just making the colors up as I go, right? So I don't know what colors they are until they show up. Alright, what's next? Let's do our head. Again. Let's do A, and let us do visited. I've said this more than once in this class, but when you guys are creating your CSS for your hyperlinks, remember that the order goes link, visited, hover, and active. Should you change that order by saying link, hover, active, and then visit it, your CSS will not work. Does that make sense? Yes? Cool. Alright, so for our visit, we're gonna have a color, and I don't know what this color is. 00. 00FF00. And even with visited, we're gonna have a text decoration of none. Save. Let's refresh. If I visit one of these things, it's gonna turn light green. Okay, let's do another one. The next one that we have is hover, right? The hover state. From here, let's put in another color. Let's do pound. Let's do 6699FF. Upon the hover state, I want to give it a text decoration. And I want this to be underlined. So if our coding works, in theory, when we hover on top of our links, it will underline, right? And it will change color. So let's refresh, hover, it's going to change color, and it's going to go to underline. Make sense? Cool. So this color is going to be gray blue. Oh no, light gray blue. Alright, my next one is going to be A active. Upon active, right? Upon active is when you click on it and you hold on to it. Let's change its color as well. And we're gonna do pound CC3366. And we're gonna have a text decoration. And it's gonna be underlined. Save. Refresh. This is the hover state. If you click on it, it turns red, this darker red, and that is the active state. Make sense? Cool. Yes?
If you don't want to change the hover property, but you want to change the active, you still need to list the hover in some way or form?
You don't. As long as they're all in order, you're good. Yes?
My visitors link, it's not like gold like the other ones. It's like a light orange. It's way thin.
Do you have the same code as me?
Yeah.
00FF00?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Same with you as well. Okay, then let's do it this way. Green. Let's save. Let us refresh. Transfer darker green. Yes? You can use just a regular color name, but you're very limited to what you know, right? So you're limited to red, orange, yellow, green, blue, black, purple, white. And then you can add in light or dark, right? And aqua or whatever. If you use hexadecimal, what I usually do is I go to a color picker. Right? What I usually do in class, we pick a color, we highlight it, and we bring it on over. Make sense? Or you could use a RGB value right here. Those are the three most used codes for color when you're using CSS. Cool? Alright, so in order for everyone to be caught up to what we're doing right now, I'm gonna go into Wednesday. I'm going to save all the stuff into a zip file, or hold on. So for those of you guys who came in late, we have, I gave you guys the HTML already, and all we're doing today is a CSS. So I'm gonna upload our current CSS that we've been working on so you guys can be caught up to it, or to us. It's right here. It's under week 7 on Wednesday. Go ahead and copy that and go ahead and open up your HTML and CSS document. Sounds good? Mind yourself that our CSS document is called sunstarcss.css, so you would have to go into your href link in your head, right? And you're going to change this to that name. So currently everyone's got this, right? Yes? Okay, cool. Let's go down. There are other stuff that I want to play around with, so let us go to look at what all these things are. Because we're working with a responsive site, so we're making our website responsive, right? Currently right now what we have is we've got this, and that is the most responsive things that we've been doing in this class, right? That's it. We're going to make a few containers that will hold a header, a footer down here, a left sidebar, and then a main menu. We could do a left sidebar or a right sidebar, doesn't matter. What I have for the demo is a left sidebar. When we do that, we will learn, once we're done, we'll be able to have our stuff function as a responsive site, okay? So let us go in and let us mess with our left sidebar. So let's go in here. And let us do a pound lsi. And with our lsi, let's do a width. And our width is going to be 20%. Our height. Our height is going to be 600 pixels. And let's give this a background. Let us do a background color of pound C0 F7 F2. You can pick whatever color you want. Save, refresh. I've got a sidebar. So this is our left sidebar right here. Okay. There's something else that I want to add on to here, so that no matter what happens, our sidebar will always stay on the left-hand side. We learned this through our image, right? That we can put in a float property. And floats, we're going to float this to the left. Obviously, because this is our only thing on here, it's going to float to the left no matter what. Right, so if I click save and refresh, it's going to be to the left, right? But notice that everything else came right up next to it, right? Just like how our text would come up right next to our images. Make sense? If I were to float this to the right, as an example, it will be onto this side. Make sense? Cool. We'll keep it to the left for now. All right, what's next? Let us work on this main item. Let's do another div. Let's do, because our ID is main, let's do main. And within our main, we're going to do our width. And our width is going to be 60. There we go. So 60%. Our height, it's going to be 600 pixels. And let's give it a background. And let's give it this color, so FF0000. Refresh. Cool. Let's change this. Let's change this color. Change the color to whatever you want. Oh, I didn't even put in this pound sign. There we go. Lastly, I'm going to float this to the left once again. Because as you guys can tell, all my texts are all down here now, right? Let's float this to the left. Let us save. Let us refresh. Cool beans.
So when you float left, why doesn't that one go in front of the other left?
Pardon?
Because they both had float left, so why doesn't one go, like the main go in front of the other?
Because they're stacking next to each other. You're floating things to the left.
It's just whichever one's floated first.
Yep. Okay, let's go back to our HTML. The next thing that we have a right side. So let's go in and let's have our pound, and we call this right. Yep, right. Cool JLeno faces. Let us have a width of 20%. Let us have a height of 600 pixels. There we go. Let us have a background. Let's go pick our background color, whatever we want. I like this color. One here. And lastly, let us float this one. I am not going to float this to the left. I'm going to float this to the furthest right. So it's going to be float to the right. Going to save, going to refresh, and there you guys go. I've got my left, I've got my main, and I've got my right sidebar.
You say float left for the main?
Float left for the main.
What is that? I've seen that before, but what is that? I mean, obviously considered the center, but why is it left and not like float center?
I think you can only float left or right.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's look. Float right. No floats, left, right, initial, inherit. No such thing as float center. Okay, so everyone's on here, right? We're good? We're good for now? Okay, cool. Last thing that we have on here, we have a footer. So let's create a footer. Pound footer. In our footer, I'm going to have a height. My height is going to be 50 pixels. I'm gonna have a background color. I'm gonna keep it at white. I'm gonna have a border top. I'm gonna do 1 pixel, and it's gonna be solid, and it's gonna be, I don't know, let's call it pink. Save, refresh. Nothing's gonna happen. Why is that? Footer. ID. Duh. I did not give myself a width. So let's clear our width. Let's clear both.
What does clear do again?
Huh?
What does clear do again?
Clear is clearing both of the clears whatever we had that came before it. Because we don't want to put a width in, like a width of 100%. We're gonna clear all the widths that has come before it. So this one was 20, this one's 60, and this one's 20, which makes 100%. Make sense? Cool. I believe that is it for our footer. Except that I don't like this on here, so let's put a text align center. Save, refresh, everything's in center. Go back onto our information here. I mean, we could put in our address, right? 555 North Ave. Let's do a break here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, whatever you guys want. Cool. So far, we've created a header, right? We've created a left sidebar, a main, a right, and also a footer. On top of that, we've also changed our links with CSS via the links state, the visited state, the hover, and the active. I actually have this div all right here, so let's do something about this. Let's go all the way down here. Pound all. Let us do a width, and let's give it a width of 80%. Mind yourself that the all tag, right, the all ID encompasses all of our heads, all of our L side, main, right, and footer. So within this all, it's going to be 80%. The height, we're going to have it as auto. We can put it in a background if we want to. I'm not going to. Maybe I should, huh? Maybe I should. I don't know. let's see what this does first, because what I want to show you guys that you can actually create a div ID that encompasses all of our containers. There you guys go. So, if I'm reading this in English, it's saying that I've got a page that has a width of 80%, right? Within my 80%, we could say that now this is 100%, correct? Does that make sense? And that within this 100%, there is a left side of 20%, a main of 60%, and a right side of 20%, which makes 100% of that 80%, which is 80% of that 100% outside. Does that make sense? Is that a little confusing? It is, right? Just be honest, y'all. Like, don't just say yes because everyone else is saying yes and you're looking around trying to be cool. But does it make sense? So let me draw that out. 100%, correct? This is your screen. This is our content. It is 80% of the whole entire screen. That is 100%. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Within this 80% that we're working with, does that also make sense? Yes. Yes? Like this is like 100%, yes? So it's 100% of this 80%. Yes? Okay. Okay. Alright, cool. With this all, we have a width of 80, we have a height. I don't know if I like this so much. It's all to one side, so let's do a margin. Let's do a margin of 5 pixels and auto. Save, refresh, goes right into the center. Can someone tell me why? Anybody? No. It would default like this. Right? This is its default. Save, refresh. This is the default.
I think let's say in half, right? Because not 5, but half much.
Okay, hold on. Okay, the reason why it works is because think about it this way. 5 pixels by 5 pixels by auto. Right? This is equivalent to margin left equals auto, margin right equals auto, margin bottom equals 5 pixels, and oh, that's not 5, that's 9. 5 pixels. You guys get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
It splits up the other 20% down on one side.
yeah. Question?
No.
Got it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Because basically, how come when you just put margin auto, it's the same thing as margin 5 pixels auto?
It's reading it. 5 pixels for top, auto for the side, 5 pixels for bottom, auto for the side again. It's equivalent to it, okay? It's just all shorthand. Alright, so we're good? Yes? Yes? Okay. Let's go in here, let's save, and then Uh-oh. Let's minimize this stuff, right? Don't care about that too much. As we expand our page or our website to the full width of our screen, we will see that it will grow to whatever the percentage we have. If we make it smaller, it will do the exact same thing no matter what, no matter how small it gets, because we've used percentage, right? Yes? Cool. Does everyone understand this? Yes? Cool, that's a lot of nods. Alright, so let's do something really cool. Or different. I guess it's not cool. I could call it different. Comment. This is media query. So, I told you guys that we were going to learn about how to make something responsive, correct? And we've made something responsive on a desktop. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to do something that's responsive, that'll work on both desktop and any mobile device. Mobile device meaning may it be a cell phone or a note or a pad, right? Whatever it is, it will work. So let's go in here and let's do, this is the start of our media query. And the next one is going to be another comment. Media query 1 for medium size screens. The @ sign, media, space only, space screen, and space, open parentheses, min width, colon, space 450 pixel, close parentheses, and space, and then open parentheses, max dash width, colon, and let's do space 700 pixels. Close the parentheses, open up your bracket or JLeno face. In English, this is saying that the minimum width is going to be 450. The maximum width is going to be 700. Anything bigger, and it's no longer considered the medium-sized screen. It will be considered the big desktop screen. Does that make sense? Cool. In our in our brackets here, our cool JLeno faces, we're gonna do body. Another set of JLeno faces, right? And we're gonna do margin, colon 0. Keep it just like that. Right underneath this, £, all, JLeno faces. The width, 90%. Next, pound main. Our main, we're gonna have a width. Our width is gonna be 80 pixels. It's gonna float now to the right. We're gonna have our pound right. We're gonna clear all the floats that we're gonna clear all of the floats and stuff that we did to it earlier on top.
clear only clears bulk, or does it clear all the other things?
There's all the other shit as well. I shouldn't be saying bad words, right? It's like recording. Now I've got to go in later on and edit this thing. We're gonna do a width of 100%. And we're gonna have a height of auto. I need my semicolon here, so it'll change color. I get it, I understand that it's a little hard to understand right now, but then I'm gonna explain to you guys, okay? When we minimize our size to something that is between the 450 and 700 pixel range, right? A medium-sized screen, say for example, a smaller laptop or iPad. We are trying to manipulate what we just did up here by saying that whatever happens when it's in this form, it's gonna be in this width. That's our main, right? Our main is now gonna be only 80% and it's gonna float to the right, and we're gonna clear everything onto the left. With that said, let's save. Alright, so when we go from our full screen all the way down to a smaller screen, it's gonna look like that. Oh, hey. Why is it not working? Annoyed, hold on, give me a second. Body, all, main, right. Give me a second. I could type something in wrong. Media, only, screen, and minimum width 450 and max width 700. And we open, 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 open. That's so weird. It should have worked. I played with this all night. Is someone else getting something that's way different from mine? When you guys minimize it, it's all the same, right? Yes?
Maybe if you minimize it to the right side,
Yes, so the right sidebar is supposed to move down. Say what? It's supposed to move downwards down here.
Yeah, because then when I go past, like when I go below 450, maybe it's just not getting small enough.
There we go. Okay, cool. So there goes our 700 pixel, right? I guess I was moving it too fast. I have issues, right? So there goes our 700 pixel. And as we keep moving, and we keep moving all the way down to this 450 pixel, it's gonna stop there and it's gonna revert right back. Okay? So as you guys can see, usually what happens to a website is that when you are scrolling on a iPad or whatnot, it usually loses all of its desktop function and it goes downwards more so. Does this make sense? Yes? Thank you. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do, so that I won't embarrass myself anymore, this is really embarrassing now, let's go in and let us do one more media query. Okay? So in this media query, let's do our cool notes here first. So for our next media query, media query 2 for mobile devices. All right, @ again, media, space, only screen, space, and open parentheses, min width. It's gonna be 0 pixels. Close that parentheses, and space, parentheses, max height, max width, and it's gonna be 449, because up here we had 450, right guys? So that was the minimum width for our medium screen. So our max width for our small device would be 449 pixels. Close your parentheses, open your cool JLeno faces. Within here, we're gonna do body. Go. Body. In our body, we're gonna have a margin of 0. We'll keep that margin, that body margin of 0, and that's it. We're gonna go back and play with our all. In our all, we're gonna do our width. And we're gonna do a width of 100%. We're gonna do a height of auto. Our next thing is we're gonna do something with our head. So we're gonna change our head. We're gonna do the height. And we're gonna give our header or our head a height of 45 pixels. We're gonna give it a font size change to 1.05 EM. And we're gonna give it a padding of 1 EM. In addition to our head, we're gonna do something with our left side now. In our left side, we're gonna float nothing now. We're gonna go to our height, and we're gonna auto everything in height. We're gonna make our width to 100%. And we're gonna do a padding top. Need a semicolon there. We're gonna do a padding top of 0.25, 0.26, doesn't matter, 0.25 EM. We're gonna do a main. No more floatings for main as well. In our main, we're gonna do this width of 100%. I'm gonna have a height of auto. And we're gonna put in another padding. Let's do padding top for this. And we're gonna do 0.25 EM. The next thing on our list, we're gonna do our right side. Pound right. Within our right, we're gonna change the width. And the width is gonna be now 100% as well. Who knows why we're changing the width to 100%? Yes, it takes up the whole entire width of our small screen. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're gonna do a width. Let's play with this height a little bit. Let's do a height of 80 pixels, 90 pixels, don't matter. 90 pixels. So padding top again. And let's do a padding top of 0.25 EM. And then lastly, our footer. And let's do a height of, I want this fixed, so let's do a height of 40 pixels. And I guess I could have a padding for it because it's so close, right? Let's do a padding. And let's do a padding top, I guess. Not I guess, I want. Let's do it at, I don't know, 0.15 EM. Save. So here's what our site looks like, right? In a large view. When it gets smaller to a 700 to a, between 700 and 450, it's gonna look like this. When we surpass the 450 going to 449, it's gonna look, oh my gosh, what's going on? I did, I swear. Refresh. Did I save everything? Yes. There he goes. In case I forgot to refresh. So when we're in the 700 pixel, between 700 and 450 pixel, it's gonna look like this. When we go down further, surpassing the 449 pixel, it's gonna look like this, and it's gonna stay in this form all the way down. Does that make sense? Yes. So this is our mobile view. This is our pad view. This is our desktop view. Yes? No? Like, I'm confused, like, oh my gosh, or yeah, I'm kind of getting it.
I get it, it's just, is there any particular reason why it might not show up on our browsers, even when you adjust the height?
Height wouldn't matter.
Or not the height, I mean the width.
Width,
Which is not, yeah, it just stays the same on desktop.
in the desktop view, right, in the desktop view, it's going to take in everything that we've had up here. Correct? So let me minimize this. So everything that we created earlier, this is what it's going to look like no matter what. On any desktop, that's what it is, right? We stated that we wanted things to be a certain width, a certain height, a certain percentage of whatever it is that we have. When we go from this to a smaller size, all we're doing is we're breaking things up. So our smaller size will look like this, Mail.
I get it, it's just when I'm making the screen smaller, it doesn't change.
Shut up. I'll play around with your stuff in a bit. Any questions? Okay, so let me jump to the homework and then I'll come around to help whoever needs help, okay? All right, so today, the homework for today is going to be our CSS layout assignment. You'll be creating a homepage for a business, and you can either use a business that exists or make one up your own. Make one up yourself, okay? If this is going to be your rabbit's business and your rabbit selling carrots, perfectly fine with me. If it's your business, perfectly fine. If you're doing something with McDonald's, go ahead. If you steal pictures from them, remember that you will have to cite what you took. You'll be creating at least 4 different sections using div tags, what we just did today in class. Assign each div tag with a different ID. Remember, we did not use classes at all. All we did today was use IDs. The layout and the styling of the different sections will be controlled via CSS, what we did in class, right? Your CSS should be written in a separate file, just like how we did it. Separate file meaning that you have a CSS file and also HTML file. The CSS is connected to the HTML via this link. Make sense? Cool. Be creative. This is your chance to show me what you've learned so far in this class with CSS. I will not deduct point if you have no really good aesthetic feel to your website, because all I care about is functionality, but all my friends care about is aesthetics, right? And it's perfectly fine. As long as it looks nice, it's nice, and my nice is like really ugly, so it's okay. But what I'm looking for is you need a header. The header must have a business name. It can include a logo or a slogan. Whatever it is, I don't care, as long as you have a business name, right? So if it's for my bunny, right? So my bunny's business would be carrots. So carrot, comma, Inc. You also have a content section, right? This is what you have information about your business. So bunny sells carrots to Whole Foods. It's pretty cool. This bunny must be rich. This will be in your main section, right? The main section. You will also have a footer. This footer will contain information like address, phone number, and email. So if this is thing for my bunny, then it's gonna be the contact information for my bunny, right? Hole in the ground in Wisconsin, blah blah blah. You will also need to have links. Okay, so have links in your site. The links does not have to go anywhere. They just be dead links. These are known as dead links, right? We just have to show that they work. Center all for the page by setting the margins of left and right. Float 2 or more sections as shown in our demo today. So now you guys have our float stuff, right? Just use that. Use at least two CSS3 properties. I believe that it was 2 classes ago that we learned about our CSS3 properties, right? So they would be border radius. It makes your border, instead of sharp edges, it makes it curve around. You can also use text shadows, right? Remember text shadows? You can also use box shadows. Up to you. Do whatever you want. Once again, you will have at least 4 different sections for your site. We have in our responsive site 5 sections: header, left side, main, right, and footer. It's 5 sections. You can have 4 if you want. You can have 10 if you want. 10's a little bit much. Remember that I will take off points if it's not in a separate CSS file, and if you do not have comments in your HTML or your CSS file, I will also take off points as well. This should not be anything new, right? I take off points if it's in the wrong file. I take off points if you submit a .html versus a .text or whatever. I take off points if you don't have any comments. I take off points if you only have comments in HTML and not in CSS. Make sense? It's nothing new. The template page should look and feel real, so include plenty of content, right? 1 line of content will not suffice. Please put some other stuff up, make stuff up, copy and paste, just link that source. Make sure that you construct your own layout. Do not copy my example verbatim. So if I'm using 80%, you should at least try 70. Does that make sense? Yes? I'm dead serious. Yes? Okay? Or if you want to keep this at 80%, at least, change that. Okay? That's a change. It's different from mine. Please. I will be looking for that. So if you copy my stuff, I'll give you a 0. How about that, huh? So at least change something. It's just one thing. If you are using hexadecimal, please do not copy my colors verbatim. I know my colors, I won't remember all my colors, but I mean, heck, if you use blue, purple, and teal, can you just at least change it to like red, white, and blue? Okay, or yellow, green, and pink, or whatever. Don't care what color you pick, just as long as it's different from mine. You are not required to use media queries. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so no yays. So there's only one person in this class who's not required, but everyone else will be, right? Jeez. I mean, did you guys really want media queries? Yes? I like them. Okay, so if you could do media queries, go ahead. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I don't really care. If you need help with the assignment, go to the ISC tutors before you come to me, okay? But if you really don't like the ISC tutors and they get on your nerves and you hate them, then I will help you out. Just set us appointment with me, okay? And that's it. You guys can all go. Remember that the assignment is due on the 11th and that we have our midterm on the 14th. Monday, we will have a short demo and then I'll assign an assignment and then we'll go over the midterm. It would be wise for you to be here and take notes on that day. Does that make sense? You guys all go. But remember that our focus things should work for piece. I just look at you like one person.
Where's that at?
Yes, there is. It is right over here.
And then you're just gonna do that. I mean, James showed you that trick, though, did he?
I just had a question for over spring break. Is there going to be an assignment due over that?
No, I believe that students should have a spring break, even though I won't.
Alright.
But I will assign a extra credit. How about that?
Okay.
And the extra credit should be pretty short.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering since I'll be out of town.
Okay,
So.
sounds good. Yep. Thanks for the help. I was like freaking out, like literally freaking out, like why is it not working?
Yeah, sometimes just saving and refreshing can like slip your mind.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that you're a lefty.
I know. It's not a lot of it lefties.
No, there's not. You guys
It's a
are-
really small percentage.
Yes, yes.
Are you lefty or righty? It's not that.
I used to be both, now I'm all just right.
I used to be ambidextrous too. Like some like sports I do with my right, anything else with left. It's still kind of
How was your talk with Dustin? Good?
Yeah, good. He said basically, if they need availability over the summer, he'll contact me, but in the fall, basically got a job. But that's fine. I mean, over the summer, I've got orientation leader position through UW.
Well, maybe not.
What do you want to do when you're done?
When I'm done, yeah.
Like your
yeah.
senior year going into life.
I was thinking pretty much straight out, maybe do some IT work and then move transition toward information security. But if I like social, I like the programs that they have. If I can't get the master's subsidized or paid for, it makes sense to work through that and then still probably pursue something along that path. Maybe. I don't know.
So, anyone can take tech.
Yeah.
Okay? I can teach you a skill, you can do it. But not anyone can help other people, right? Justin's great because he looks at you in the eye, right? That's kind of weird.
Sorry.
Huh? I have like a phone.
Oh, you about to go take it?
You were talking about like, do I have a calculator that you can borrow?
You can go ask around.
If you're interested, I can also refer you to Toby, which is our graduate advisor. He's looking for tutoring as well. So, and the reason why is that it's going to play a freshman. Yes, I understand that great people come out of IT. I also understand that great people come out of tutoring. I also understand that all individuals who get their master's subsidized for tutoring. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you currently work?
Not really, no. But
Okay.
I'd be.
So you would be interested. Your time can be split because the max that you can work for the university is 20 hours now.
Yeah, that is fine.
25.
Something like that.
Studies are actually very, very important, but then again, if I think that anyone in their right mind can actually do about 20 hours of their week.
So you can do definitely 10 for tech, right? And also 10 for tutoring if you're interested in it. Because you learn a lot from your upperclassmen, especially those who are master students. You learn a lot. You learn stuff. You learn all of the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
So if you're also interested in that because you're looking to get subsidized for the master's program, then I would recommend that you look into both pathway and never close out any one of them. Tech will lead you to the door of chat. Tutoring will lead you to the door of thinking about it.
Think about it. Yeah, definitely.
And chat is our assistant lead, and Loretta is our associate lead. Both will lead you to both. A few words of every part.
That's true. All right, thank you.
Think about it. Let me know. Okay, you're up so close. Can you stop puffing and puffing when I'm so slow?
It's not, no.
I'm typing, and then I stop, and she goes.
It's, it's not, I promise, it's not directed towards you.
And I'm like, I'm trying here, but you should see all the people behind you.
No, I promise, it's not directed towards you. And I don't even realize.
And I'm like, I know she gets this stuff hella fast.
No, I promise it's
I'll
not.
just hit her.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know, and then I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'm just sitting there like.
No, because you finish typing the moment I finish typing. And then we have to wait. And I'm looking around, and you're like, okay.
No, and then
Okay.
sometimes I'm just reading because I'm trying like when you were doing the stuff with the check paper.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm just reading, and if I'm reading, I might. I don't know.
Oh crap, I need to turn off my text message relay. Give me 1 second, sorry. Okay, so this is the end.